Okay, so today's lesson is called linear functions. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you, you actually already know how to do this. We just have to make a little tweak to something you already know. So, what we're going to do today is write linear equations. Like we used to write them y equals mx plus b, where y and x were variables, m was the slope, and b was the y-intercept. Now, the only thing that is going to change from this lesson in chapter 2, or this whole chapter 2 idea, is now instead of it being y equals, it's going to be f of x equals, right? So now we're just going to put an f of x in there, g of x, whatever, right? Whatever we want in there. We are now going to put that function notation with it, so everybody knows that this equation would be a linear function. So let's practice a couple of these for today's lesson. So when we go and look for an equation on a graph, we need to find the two things. We need to find the slope, and we need to find the y-intercept, okay? So slope, I would find change in y is down 1 over 2, right? So there's my slope. My y-intercept is right here at -1. So down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. That gets me my slope right here. And then my y-intercept is right there. So I'm just going to write this f of x is equal to -1/2 x minus 1. And that's what my equation will look like for the first one. Now, what happens if it's on a table, right? On a table, things look a little bit different, right? We can't easily see the slope, but we can find it. Remember, slope is change in y over change in x. So I'm going to go find the change in y first. I'm going to go find that, and I'm going to write it down. So change in y, in this case, y changes 0. So I'm going to put that on top. And then change in x, that goes up 1. So this gets me a slope of 0. And then I need my y-intercept, which is going to be whatever value when x equals 0. That's the y-intercept. So when x equals 0, it'll give me my y-intercept. So I know that my b in this case is 2. So then I can go right. I'm going to go right g of x is equal to 0 slope plus 2. Now, if you wrote your equation like this, I would give you full credit. But I'd actually like you to recognize that, hey, 0 slope actually is just like this. Okay? So either one of these would be accurate. They both mean the same exact thing. Now, what if I give it to you as like information? Like I give you the slope and the point. Now I have to use point slope formula. So I'm going to go y minus my y value, which is -6, is equal to my slope, which is 2, right here, and then x minus my x value. And then I simplify. I get y plus 6. We called it cleaning it up, right? And then x plus 2. Now, I cannot leave these problems in point slope form because I need it in function notation. So I'm going to have to keep going all the way to slope intercept and then make my change of my y. So 2x plus 4 is equal to y plus 6. Subtract 6 on both sides. I get y equals 2x minus 2. But I can't leave my answer like that. I have to put it in function notation. So we're going to call it h. h of x is equal to 2x minus 2. Done. Okay? What if I give it to you as 2 points, right? So 2 points is what I have down here. If you still need to look at the stuff above, go ahead and pause the video because I'm actually going to erase it. So I'm going to go erase that stuff. I'm going to go now do it with 2 points. So I'll get rid of this. First, I need to find the slope. So change in y. Change in y, I'm going to write that one on top. From 6 to -9, that goes down 15. And then from 2 to -4, that goes down 6. So my slope currently is -15 divided by -6, which simplifies to +5 over 2. okay, positive 5 over 2. Okay, then I need to now go use point slope form again. I'm going to pick this positive one because it's easier. Remember, step 2 is circle a point, so I just did that. So y minus 6 is equal to 5 over 2 times x minus 2. This is already cleaned up, so I'm going to distribute 5 halves x. This becomes negative 5. If you are confused on why I got negative 5, try it on your calculator of 5 halves times negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides. I get y equals 5 halves of x, but I can't leave it in y equals. I have to change it to function notation. So function notation would look like f of x equals 5 over 2x. This would be my equation. All I'm doing is I'm replacing the y and putting in f of x, right? So that's, okay, so now we're going to talk about this word problem. We're looking at it in hours, and time is continuous. So we already have an idea that this is a continuous function. I'm going to go write this in function notation, but I don't know the y-intercept. So I can find the slope, change in y. Change in y, looks like it's going up 800. So 800 divided by, as my x's are going up by 2. So really I have a slope of 400. So there's my slope. M equals 400. Now I don't know my y-intercept, but I can work backwards. So since this is counting by 2's over here, I can go count by 2's on the way back and find out what 0 is. So if this is moving by 800 counting by 2's over here, it's actually going to move by 800 counting by 2's over there. So guess what? My y-intercept is 0. So when I go to write my function, I'm going to talk about it as calories in place of hours. So calories in place of hours worked. I'm going to have 400 H, right? So however many hours I work, that's how many calories I'm going to burn, and I didn't have a y-intercept. So here is my function notation. C of H equals 400 H. How many calories would I burn in 2.5 hours? So my question to you is, where do I put the 2.5? Hopefully you're screaming at the screen and say, hey, in for the H. You're going to put the 2.5 in for the H because it's hours. So question C. It's going to look something like this. I'm going to go calories at 2.5 hours is equal to 400 times 2.5. And I'm going to do some math on that. Calories at 2.5 hours equals 1,000 calories would be burned in 2.5 hours. Okay? So now we just took and wrote equations from a word problem dealing with jogging. We took equations and wrote them from 2 points. We took equations and wrote them from a slope and a point. We took an equation and wrote it from a table and a graph. Hopefully this was review for you. The only thing that's new for this is just putting that, instead of it being y equals, it's going to be f of x or g of x or h of x equals. So hopefully you have a great day. If you have questions, you can watch the video again, or I will see you next class period.